blackface number on St. Valentine's Day would be novel? It's no good, huh? Just an idea I had.
And now back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
You're listening to the Big Dumb Fun Show. We are online at BigDumbFunShow.com. You can call us, leave us a random-ass voicemail message. That number, write it down, 888-832-7561.
On the phone right now, trying to get a hold of Mark the Big Guy. It's Mark Madness this month on the Big Dumb Fun Show, gearing up for the big tourney. We're down to, is it the Sweet 16? Now, Mark, are you there?
I'm here.
Are we down?
How about you?
Are we in the Sweet 16 finally?
We are now in the Sweet 16, yes.
And how's your bracket looking? Did you fill one out?
Well, I just did mine a round at a time, but if I had went all the way through, I would have lost 10 games.
I was so stoked during my office pool. I was stoked because the entire Southeast bracket that I'd filled out, I got 100% on, and I was like, and I know nothing about anything. When it comes to basketball, that is, and so I was so thinking that I was just the stuff, and then the next day rolls around and I get like none of the other games. I think I got like 2. So now I went from 100 to now I'm at 50% in the Southeast, and all my other brackets are all screwed up except for my my big fish, which are Duke and KU, who I picked to go to the end. Everyone else.
Well, all of my number ones except Pittsburgh are still in. So Pittsburgh got big time upset.
Now KSU, Kansas State, they won the first game, but then just totally got killed the second time, right?
Well, one guy can't carry the whole team, and that's what was going on. So.
Superman could.
Well, yeah, Superman could, but Superman doesn't really exist.
Oh.
Sorry, hate to break it to you.
I think that we may see him at Comic-Con this weekend. I'll tell him you said hi.
Okay, and would you also like me to tell you the story about Easter Bunny as well while I'm at it?
About what?
Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
No, we're having them on next week.
No, but I don't think Manhattan is the Gotham City you're thinking of.
Oh, not Manhattan, Kansas?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, imagine Superman flying around that. I mean, as fast as he goes, he's out of the city.
Like, he's out of here. This place blows. So how's everything else looking in the other I guess the other quadrants of the basketball tournament? Anything of note happening that tweaks your twad?
Not particularly, no. Let's see. The only exciting thing is Butler comes from out of nowhere again for the third consecutive year in a row. I don't know how they continue to do what they do, but they do.
I was kind of pissed as Gonzaga. Are they still in it or no? They're out?
No, Gonzaga got beat in the last round, I'm sorry to say. But they did. They got past the first round, which surprised me.
I was kind of proud of myself. So, I actually watched, throughout this whole thing, I watched maybe about 10 minutes of the KU-Illinois game. And the whole time I kept thinking, God, I should be interested in this. I really should. I think I should take an interest in this. Like, these guys are really, like, unlike the professional sports, these guys have the heart and the desire and the will because they're trying to make that professional status. And for some reason, college basketball and college football and college and girls softball and volleyball, we'll give them a pass. But they just don't do it for me. Like, I can't stand to watch it. I don't know the players, and I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Well, multi-millions of dollars to play the game doesn't interest them enough to give them heart and desire.
No, sometimes I think once they make it to the big leagues, they kind of, especially some of the veterans, I think they kind of slack. Like, for instance, LJ. I think LJ got the big contract. He did really great the first year, and then when he knew that he was so great, that second year, where was he?
That's true.
So, I mean, sometimes I think that they have this kind of like a lead singer disease where they come out there and they are like, oh man, they have a really great year, and then they're like, well, I'm just gonna, I want to save these knees, where they maybe not give it 100%, and you can kind of tell. And so the college, you figure they're going 100 miles an hour. I mean, they're really just, they want to get on that pro team. And I would think as a human being that someone that's showing that much heart and desire to make it to the next level, that, man, this is where it's at. These are where the real ball is played. But I can't stand any of it. That's what I should think, but I mean.
But you don't.
I'd rather, I guess, watch LJ. I mean, really, to be honest. But speaking of. How's the NFL the lockout going? Are they still locked out, or?
They're still locked out. As far as I know, they have made no ground. Jerry Jones has headed up a team to speak with the committee for the Players Association, which supposedly no longer exists. So
now, was that because the UN passed a no-fly zone for the players because it was just so outrageous they wanted more money?
I think actually,
we don't believe this. Ace ain't flying.
It's a good thing the Wisconsin government wasn't a part of this at all. They would have just disbanded the union.
Disbanded them.
Sorry, you don't have any negotiating power.
Yeah.
The
union has been disbanded.
We're going to actually have cheese play this year.
What does that mean? I heard that the disbandment of the union meant that it was totally not going to happen. Like the season's going to be at a halt, at a standstill.
Well, there's still a committee of players that are still negotiating for the rest of the
league.
I don't know, the rest of the league, I guess. Rest of the players, the Players Association.
How scary
doesn't exist.
Yeah. How scary does it sound that Terry Bradshaw
is one of those people? Terry Bradshaw is one of the people that negotiate
for
the players.
Who else is going to negotiate? It's got to be former players, right? It can't be current players.
It couldn't be, because they've got
Ben Roethlisberger is like, all right, we want dental.
Like Ocho Cinco's going, listen, I got a promising soccer career in Kansas City.
Sporting KC,
thank you. You heard that one too,
huh?
I don't buy that at all.
You know what that tells me? Hey, maybe there won't be
He's looking at other options.
Yes. Well, his tryout's supposed to be tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So
we shall see what happens. Once you start thinking, what, soccer, I could do that, then you're it's over, Johnny. And plus, how's he going to be able to compete with his dancing career?
Yeah, and I don't see him making it's minor league soccer. He's not going to make that $1 million contract.
Probably not.
So there is one thing about, I hate to revert back, but there is one thing about this whole NCAA tournament thing that's got me stirred up, and that's Mike Anderson, head coach of the Missouri Tigers, was offered a contract from the University of Arkansas, 5 years, $10 million. And now he's asking Missouri University to pony up.
What's wrong with that? Isn't that the way it works in the business world?
He's gotten an extension the last 2 years when the same thing has already happened. If I was Missouri, I'd cut bait and run.
Why?
Find a new coach.
Why?
They didn't get past the first round.
Okay, fine. That's good enough reason for me. You pay for play.
Yeah, don't let that other college that's paying him $10 million know that.
So that's what you just want to say?
2 years ago, they made it to the Elite Eight. So, I mean, is that as good as you can get?
Well, I think, if you're a coach, whether it be on a professional team or a college team, aren't you always kind of out there looking because you just never know?
Well, in that case, I'd just tell him to take the contract that Arkansas offered him then.
Honestly, if it were me, I'd just go where the money's at. I'd say, hey, they offer me $10 million. Can you do me any better? No.
Well, he's already getting.
Peace out, Girl Scout. I'm out.
He's already getting $1.55 million from the University of Missouri already, and he's asking him for another. I believe they said $2 million.
Well, if he wants at least to have them match, that's an extra, $450,000 a year. That's not chump change. Living.
Kinnick is great at math.
Living in Columbia, that's some good money. I mean, you could, you could pay for some Happy Meals with that.
You could move to Manhattan.
Yeah.
With Spider-Man.
Well, if he was asking for a match, that would be one thing. But I believe he asked for an additional $2 million on his contract.
Let him. I mean, let the guy ask for $1 billion and see what. I mean, if he needs to go and get as much money as he can. I think that's the deal. As much money as someone will pay him, and he's being smart about doing so. Whether he's got an allegiance to one one college or another. I mean, that's all hogwash. Next week, we'll go into our final. It'll be Elite Eight and then Final Four by next week, right?
I'm sorry?
Alrighty.